Hello world, hope everyone is keeping well and safe. It's Saturday the 12th of November and it's fairly early actually for me. Well, actually that's a lie. It's mid-morning for me. I've been up since 5. Here it is, nearly 10 o'clock in the morning UK time. And this morning I had to get up, go to the GP and have my flu shot this morning, which went okay. The only issue I would say is parked the car, got my walker out, and probably walked halfway to the doctor's doorway, and then my left leg decided that it didn't want to lift off the floor anymore. And with a pair of trainers on that I've got, my foot becomes glued to the floor, which meant then physically having to stop, think that I have to lift my foot up and then put it back down again and then move forward, as it were, like that. And bless the doctor surgeon, absolutely brilliant. The receptionists there took me straight in to the room instead of queuing. They're sort of straight in, and they sort of ushered me through a very large queue of people waiting. And I'm having to apologise to them because, you know, Walker plus me. I said to them quite jokingly, coming through, wide load, stand by, wide load, and fine. Got in there, had the shot, come back out, and I'm about a quarter of the way from the room towards the exit of the building, and my right leg decided it's going to join my left leg and become very glued to the floor, which then meant I was walking like a diver. You know, literally stop, lift a leg up, move it forward, put it back down again, stop, move the other leg up, put it back down again, step forward. And then in the end, my walker has got these brake things on it. I locked the brakes on and I was actually using it like a Zimmer frame. So felt a little embarrassed about that, but at the same time I was trying to make a bit of a joke of it and was also secretly swearing to myself. Got back to my car, and this walker thing is also a seat as well. So parked my bum on the seat for about 5 minutes just to let the body readjust. When I got back to the car, I had to lift the walker into the car, which is quite a high lift. But I've got to the point where I've got it kind of sussed, where I fold the chair into half, and literally just lift and swing, and push down on the handles as I swing up, where it says like a cantilever, and it then lands in the boot of the car and rolls forward until it touches the back of the seat and stops. I can then use the walker as a support to walk towards the car. I then take the handles off and have to rotate the thing 90 degrees to fit it into the boot of the car. It's a shame really, because if the boot was another 7 inches, I suppose, it would actually fit in without having to take the handles off and turn it around and all sorts of things. But hey, designers of cars never seem to consider putting things in like that into the back of the cars. But yeah, it came out, and just pulled up here. I'm overlooking Bristol. I'm just reading the sign on the gate here. It says, "The Retreat, a Forest of Avon Trust walking area. No dogs." There you go. So I'll open the window in a minute. I'll take a few pictures before I go, so I can edit them into the video and show you. So that was today. Yesterday I had to go to the brain centre in Bristol for routine bloods. When I got there, I said to the nurse that I was going to be trouble because to get blood out of me is quite difficult, and there's only a few nurses in the brain centre that can actually get blood first time. So this nurse had a go. She started and didn't work first time round, and she was getting so worried that she may be causing me pain, because once they put the needle in, they're trying to move it around to find where it is, where the vein is. But I did say to her not to worry, because from about here, there's my elbow, so from about here downwards, there's very, very little feeling in my arms, and even less in my hands. So I don't feel any discomfort or anything. And being on rebiff years ago, that got me over my fear of needles. So, I'm quite happy to watch the needle go in, wiggle around in all sorts of things. But, give her due. She tried in one arm and it didn't happen. And she then went to the other arm, and the first point she tried didn't work. But then she had another feel a little bit further round, and I said to her that the phlebotomist, when she's doing my bloods, has always said she can feel the vein, but she has to put the needle above where she's feeling. And this nurse had a go doing that routine, and she found the vein and was able to take the 3 vials of blood she needed. Embarrassing, I must cost the NHS a lot of money in needles, because she used 3 in the end. The third one was the one that worked, because obviously once they take them out, they're not allowed to put them back in again. Personally, I've got no issues with that, but health and safety and stuff. So what else has been going on in my world? Well, this week I attended the office, because I'm now well enough to actually go to the office. So I would rather go there than sit at home, to be honest. Yeah, working from home is okay, but I do miss the interaction between the other members of the team. And thankfully, the company I work for is a tiny company. It's only 7 employees, including me. It's like a family. I did comment to my boss how pleased and surprised I was with the level of care that they've shown me. And he was saying that when they employed me at the interview, I made them aware that I had MS. They said, we discussed it and we were quite happy to take you on. We knew there would be times where you would need extra support, and we knew that the disease will get worse and worse and worse, but we were happy to employ you. So I'm internally grateful, really am grateful for the chance to work. I'm one of these people, I've always worked since I left school at the age of 16. Too stupid to go to university, but I've been to the University of Life, should we say, and have worked non-stop since the age of 16. My longest time I've been unemployed was the last time before I got the job I'm working at the moment, and that was for 4 months. 3 of those were by choice, because I had a few things to get sorted out first before I could go back into full-time work. So yeah, generally about 4 months is the maximum I've been unemployed, and I've worked 30 plus years. But if I'm not working, I get bored. If I'm on a holiday, first couple of days, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, kick shoes off. I've got nothing to do, just relax and R&R and all that things. And by day 3, I am like, I need to get something done. I need to be doing something. I'm getting bored. And I then become bored, and been in the office all this week until Thursday, where I work from home again, because personally I'm not allowed to work in the office on my own. if I arrive and there's nobody there, I have to wait until members of the team get there in the morning. So I've got to be careful of time in my journey to work, so that I'm not generally sat in the car park more than about 5-10 minutes at the most. But usually I'll time it so that somebody's in the office by the time I get there. The reasoning behind this, and I am embarrassed, and looking back on it, it was comical. Yeah, years ago, when I first started working for the company back in 2019, I used to walk with a walking stick, and I used to get on all right with it, you know, not a problem. Anyway, this particular morning was literally probably about 8 weeks after I started there. I walked into the office, which is in a converted barn, walked in through the doors, looked upstairs and shouted up to my boss, "Good morning." And then, without thinking, put my foot forward to walk forward, not realising my foot hadn't actually moved, it was still stuck to the floor. Hey, does that sound familiar? And transferred my body weight onto something that wasn't there, and I went crashing to the ground. My boss, who was upstairs, was with me within seconds, and I was lying face down on the floor, laughing my head off and apologising and swearing. That's the combination of when I've crashed to the ground. I sit there swearing, laughing, and feeling sorry for myself all at the same time. It's just incredible. I can't describe the feeling. But he helped me up, and from that point onwards, I'm not being allowed in the office on my own, just in case I fall. And now I walk with a Zimmer frame, so there's even less chance of falling, but he still doesn't allow me in the office on my own, which technically he's right, because for health and safety we shouldn't be working in offices on our own anyway. The job I do is pretty much low risk of electrocution and things, so we don't take equipment apart, or rather, when we do take it apart, it has no power connected to it. So it's his company, I follow his rules. But at the end of the day, I've never worked for a company that has such a warm family feeling. But there again, I've never worked for a very small company. My previous job, we had a working base of about 30 people. And the job before that, there was about 7,500 people. And I was responsible for about 2,500 employees. So, yeah, that's so I've gone from medium company, big company, medium company, small company. So I've worked for a company that my very first job, which was kind of an abusive job because of my age and the government scheme and things. That was for an MOD company. Obviously, MOD can't discuss exactly what I was doing, but it did include things that went fizzle pop. Yeah. Then I left that. I went contracting. Ended up working in a PCB factory, assembling circuit boards. Hence the reason why I got to learn to solder properly, or solder as you Americans call it. There I worked at a technical college, and then I went into the railway, worked for the railway for near on 16 years, was made redundant, went to work for a job in South Wales, worked there for 2.5 years, which was great. It was a 67-mile drive every day, going out, 67 miles back. So used to get through a tank of fuel a couple of times a week. It was nice because I used to like driving. Still do like driving, but it's something I miss. Was made redundant from that job, so that's 2 jobs in a row I was made redundant from, and then I'm now working for this job that I'm doing now, and I'm hoping not to be made redundant. I've got probably another 12-15 years left of employment before I can retire. I would like to eat into that number as much as I can. Thankfully, we've managed to pay off all of our debts, for the house and things like that, so that's all paid for. I will spare you the gory details of how I managed to do that, but it was involving people's deaths and things, so we'll leave it at that. So now I've had my blood tests. I will get the results back by Monday, and if there's any problems, the neurology department will phone me. So far I've never had any issues. I also took last Saturday the 5th my Kesimpta jab. I've had no side effects at all with the drug so far, although October's jab did leave me with about 5 to 6 millimeter diameter bruise on the injection site, possibly caused because I was pushing down too hard on the injector. But that's the only thing I've had on that one. And the injection on the 5th of November, which is last week, after I'd finished the injection cycle, there was a little tiny spot of blood where I'd done the injection. That's the only things I've had with the injection, but so far no problems at all. The only thing I would say, and this is again me, so please don't take this as oh my god, it's going to be a problem. I seem to find if I don't distract myself, I push down quite hard on the injector to wait for it to trigger with the anticipation. So you put the needle onto your body and you start pushing down, not very hard, and then you hear a click, and that's the injection started. And then you wait until the second click, and I always give it, I don't know, 4 or 5 seconds extra, and then I release and take it away. But if I'm not distracted, I seem to find myself pushing down, waiting. Oh, is it gonna go click? Is it gonna go click? When's it gonna start doing the injection? When? Click. Oh, there it is. And by then I've already pushed down quite hard. So what I found really useful, and this might work for you guys as well, is distraction. One of my distraction techniques is a radio net, and what I find is I could be listening to somebody talking, and while I'm listening to it, I'm start just pushing down gently on the injector, and it goes click, and it does its thing, and it's done. And that's because I'm not worrying about when it's going to start. I just carry on pushing down until it goes click, and you're not really paying that much attention to it. But when there's nothing and I am concentrating on it, then I seem to be anticipating when's it going to click, and I go pushing a little bit too hard, and probably why I got bruised. But so far so good. This is probably the easiest drug to take that I've been on. Well, that's the end of this kind of video blog. Again, if you kind of like this content, don't know why, click the subscribe down here and the little bell for alerts of when I put stuff up, which is not that often, unfortunately. I'm not one of these super duper bloggers, mainly because I ain't got anything to say really. But if you need to ask me a question, you want to know something, or you want me to answer a question, feel free to post it down there. And that's it until next time. So let me go and grab some photographs of where I'm parked so I can put them into the video as well, so you can see the kind of environment I'm in at the moment. I must actually come here more often. It's a lot quieter. Said he, there's a car just going past, but it's a lot quieter than the other place I normally park. So until next time, take care, stay safe and well, and I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.